stream. And it works. There we go. You can go back to YouTube, Seagull. There we go. All right. Back in action, and let's... Oh my god! Is the camera not working again? I am losing my fucking mind, dude. What is going on? It just worked. What is happening? My computer's broken. Like the oh my god. So what's going on? What is going on? Hold on. It's almost like it's not getting enough power or something. It's very weird. Do I just have too many devices attached? Bum, 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 bum. Hold on. Hold up. Come on, man. Whoa, what the hell? What's this? What is it doing now? Dude, what the fuck? What camera was that even? Man, this shit is broken. I don't know what to do anymore. Tech support stream is failing. Oh, let me check on something real quick. Did that work? No? What the? What the hell is this? Unknown USB device. Request for device descriptor has failed. Huh? I have never heard that one before. That's a new one. Got delayed by ads. No matter which ad block I install, the Twitch ad persists. Yeah, Twitch ads are rough. YouTube should be back up, but I guess when I rebooted, the camera worked, and now I'm finally live again on both platforms. That camera fucking doesn't work again. Which is annoying. But it's like not the camera, it's something with the capture card. It's very annoying. Very weird. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try something. it is like no USB devices are recognized. Like I'm plugging in my console capture card and it's just not showing up. That is so weird. Why is it not showing up? Man. Okay, hold on. That was a noise. Hold on. Hold on to your butts. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We are back, baby. So something's fucked with my USB 3 ports. For whatever reason, anything I plug into my USB 3 ports doesn't work. I just plugged the camera into a USB 2 port and it just works. So, oh, I don't know why that is. Anyway, look, oh, the camera works. That's crazy. Are the settings still correct? I think so. Yes. So what were we talking about? Decks, right? This game is expensive to get into. Yes. If you want to play high level, whatever. However, they make decks like these. This one's also more on the expensive side because this is like a pre-made deck, right? And these are fairly strong decks. These are called recollection decks. Nice camera. Can do it. Is auto not on? Auto focus? Come on, man. Or is it too shiny to autofocus? Oh, come on. Is nothing working today? Autofocus, please. Work. It does work. Hello? Hello? I mean, it's kind of working. It started out so well. I know, right? Ugh. Okay, how do I change this shit? Continuous focus. Here we go. Can you guys see that? Alright. Focus. Is it too close? Hell no, right? Is it really not? It's trying. I can see it's trying. Do we have to do like makeup style, like hold the hands behind it? I am losing my mind. Why is that not working? That's annoying. Let's try again, zoomed out. I guess it just can't keep up when it's zoomed in. But it worked so well. I mean, oh, here we go. It's back. Okay, okay. We're back, we're back. Okay, so... Damn, I am completely lost my train of thought. Starting next, yes. So this game works with main set and then expansion set. And so far what they've done is main set, they release a couple of what they call starter decks, which really are just starter decks. Those are low power level, Sometimes useful for like the specific champion that's in it, but generally it's like a really like a starting deck, but they're like cheap as well. They're like 10-15 bucks, right? And then with the expansion sets, they release these called the Recollection deck. Here we go. Right? And these are like more powerful, kind of comparable to, actually not much comparison, but these are like generally stronger decks. Some of them work pretty well out of the box. There's like one that's themed around slimes, so like the slime creatures from RPGs. That one's fairly powerful right out of the box. It's like a creature deck, and you can build on those, you know, over time, or just play with those. As long as you're not joining tournaments, you should be pretty fine. Initially, they release them like this. So they come in this box. I think this one was, I paid 55 euros. You get this box. It has the full deck. It also has, like any card in the deck that's not a full playset. They include separately all the cards to create full playsets. So for every individual card in the deck, you will receive a full playset. They just don't include the full play deck in like the playable part of the deck, if you will. They just add it as like a little side thingy. So collection wise, you have a full playset of all the cards in this box. And then it also includes sleeves, like the Dragon Shield branded. So for this one, let me show you, right? So you get the deck, Merlin, right? It comes with Dragon Shield themed sleeves. So you get those on top of it. So yeah, the full deck in sleeves. And then for each card, I feel like I'm explaining it very badly. So for example, in a deck, you can have the same card 4 times, right? And in the deck, they've included this card, for example, 3 times. However, there's like a separate bundle included in the box where there's like a 4th copy of this card. In case you want to customize the deck, you have a full playset of every card that is in the deck. But just the way they build it, they're like, these are the numbers we think, you know, is what the starter deck or like this deck should be. But you have the option of customizing it. It's nice of them. I mean, yes, it's nice of them. It's also, there are unique cards in these that are not in the main sets. So it would be kind of an asshole move to make you buy this more than once. Like this is a more premium version of it. And it's like the little live tracker. It also comes with 3 boosters of the set. So it's like, it's a big box for a deck, right? But for like 50-60 euros, I feel like, you know, you get a full deck. Most of them are strong. There's some of these that are not as strong out of the box, but most of them are a pretty good purchase. You get sleeves. This is also like a box with a magnetic flap, so it's like a storage box as well. However, they have re-released some of these because there was a lot of demand. They have re-released of them, and they made a light version, and those are like 30 bucks ish, and that is just the deck and like the complete playsets. There's no extra boosters, no sleeves, no fancy box. It's just a small box and the full deck and playset completion, and those are like 30. That's like the slimes deck. See if I can pull up a picture. Right. Images. Yeah, I just opened the random website, so whatever. But they look like this. So these are the re-releases. Instead of like a big box, they just make like a small box, but it's the same deck. So this is probably one of the best ones to get into the game. Or this one, the purple one. Though this one, if you want to make it competitive, takes like a little more effort. Man, what is all this shit? This one takes a little more effort to make a strong deck out of it, but it is strong out of the box as well. Both of these pretty strong out of the box, and they're like, yeah, you can see the price. Like, what's this on this one? This pound, like, yeah, about 30 euros. I don't know what that would be in the US. 40 maybe $30 as well. So that's probably the strongest entry decks you can get right now. Never Stop Bamco. There were cards that are only in the starter deck, and you have to end up buying multiple starter to get a full playset, or trade, or have a store open up multiple starter decks, which is what stores love to do. Didn't they also do that with the new Riftbound game? Where they made like a 4-player starting pack. Riftbound, by the way, is the new League of Legends card game that came out like a month or 2 ago. They made like a 4-player starter box that should be sold for like 30 euros. But because there are like some unique cards in there that turned out to be usable or like very usable in tournament decks, you cannot buy those boxes. And if you find them like on the second hand, like the used market, you'll be paying well over $200 for it. Which you shouldn't do. They're gonna reprint it, whatever. I have no idea, fuck right, in touching their garbage. I don't know. I have not seen the game in any store yet. Anyway, what were we doing? We were opening packs. Double pawns. Bandersnatch. We were waiting on the Bandersnatch, boys. It's all his fault. He made sure. Why is the focus not working again? This stream is turning out to be something, huh? There we go. Bandersnatch. Oh, this one looks cool. Taunt. 2/6. Stealth damage, recover. Oh. Wait, when he gets hit, you heal. That's cool. +2 attack and cleave. Oh my god. This is a strong. Holy shit. This is a good card. They're playing it at my local store. Everyone who wants to make money is playing it. God, I'm honestly so tired of the whole, you know, making money off card games thing. It's so, dude, I have many thoughts about it. But let me put it this way. This Wednesday, 2 days ago, I was at my local game store. I went to play Commander, and there was a kid there who, you know, was there with their mom. They're like, oh, I want to buy Pokemon, right? And they bought like one of those bundles, the ETBs, I guess what they call it, right? And he's opening packs. He's like, oh my god, mom, how much is that card worth? Oh my god, mom, what's the price on this card? Like literally, that's what he was doing. Not only that, he's like running up to the front desk of the local store, like, will you buy this card, please? And then they have to like look it up, and like it's like a kid, so they're like, are you really gonna say no? But I guess they have to if it's like a shitty card. But it's like $2. Buy it, please. And it's like, okay, not running back, opening another booster, back to the front desk. Will you buy this one, please? And it's like, dude, I'm an old man yelling at the clouds at this point, because that feels like such a fucked up thing for like an 8-year-old kid to be doing. You should not be giving a shit what the financial price of a card is. You should be looking for your favorite little animal and being like, cool, I got a new Snorlax or whatever the fuck, right? Even though it's like a shit card. It is fucked up. That gave me such a icky feeling. It's like, man, really? A kid? But it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if all cards were worthless in terms of financial value, then a lot of these games would not work. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, part of it is the trading part of it, which eventually always translates into selling cards instead of actually trading. So you need a level of it, but it is getting a little out of control, I feel like. That being said, if you hit a card that you know is like hundreds of dollars, you're happy. Even if you're not going to use the card. So I guess that's the flip side. It is just gambling. Let's be real. It's just gambling. Anyway, we got a Blade. We got a Gato. We got a Lurking Assailant. Ooh, he's lurking all right. The Veiling Breeze. Is that actually a reprint? I think it is. Yeah, that's a reprint. Good card, though. Usable card. See, that's a common that's like used in top placing decks. Rosewind Hollow. We've seen that one before. It's on here. Ooh, Fractal. Ephemerate. That's a archetype of decks not as popular right now. It used to be really, really strong. And it's one of those decks where if they keep making new fractals, at some point it's gonna be good again. It's like one of those. Sacred Engulfment. Fire cards and power. Alright, that's cool. Overflow the Barrow. Haunt. Wood. Wood. I am liking this Alice in Wonderland themed stuff. It's such a cool vibe. This game started out with like the classic Arthurian stuff, you know, Excalibur and whatever. But this one's more fun. Gleaming Smolder. The Golden Pawn. Stolen Chance. Remove a preparation counter. Draw a card. Ooh, nice. Fellowship Gale. Ooh. I don't know why. Anytime it's like the purple bluish colors popping out of the card, I love that. Golden Pawn wood. I think the Golden Pawn turns into a queen. Do I have a queen token yet? Not yet. There's queen tokens. Those are those wood. Fellowship Gale wood. The Gale, not the person doing it. Flickering Afterglow. Wood. Crackling Incineration. Cool. Destroy weapons. Obscured Offering. Spellshroud Regalia. Alright, cool. Perilous Mend is rare. Any amount of curse cards at the bottom. Cover X 3 times. Ooh, cool. Cool. Wait, Umbra. Ooh. Still no ultra rare, keeping us waiting on that one. Hopefully we get the relic. That one's super rare at this point. Moatseer. Oh, look at this art though. I love the colors. I love that they're not afraid to use colors in this game. Oh, beautiful. Pawn. Beautiful. Bomb Shot Nurse. Oh my god. Someone's going wild over this one, huh? Damn, she's using a crossbow to shoot potions to heal. That's crazy. Hello, nurse. It's time for Animaniacs. Are we old? We are old, huh? Windfall Chip. Summon Pawn. You can summon the pawn. The Golden Pawn. Rainwoven Crystallis. Nice. Ayo. Diana. Ooh. So this normally is a champion, but this is her distorted version as an ally. Ooh. Damn, the art is sick. Wood. Awooga, awooga. Look at this pawn piece. Wood? Hubba hubba? Thieving cut. We've seen that one. Vestal priestess. Wise knight. Dude, they love using German, huh? But I do think it's a thing in the L's and 100. Oh no, I think I spoiled the last card. Whatever. Sworn Windhand. It is funny to see like the aprons wearing, like wielding shield and sword and stuff. Wise Bishop. Buffeting Hurricane? What does that mean? Buffeting? Like a buffet? Philippine Soul Mist. Still less stealth. This is a defensive option. Nice. Like getting battered. Hey, wood. Yeah, another little pawn piece. Little piece of pawn right there. Oh, piece of pawn. We're peering beyond. Morning Veil Bound. Singeing Leap. We're getting into repeat territory. We've seen most of these. Veiled Gambit. Ooh, this is our Black Butler right there. Damn, what song are we listening to? Pumpkin Jack, let's go. Woolbrook Domain. Is there a new set every month? No, thank fucking God, no. I think currently there's like a new set every 4 to 5 months. The last set was at the end of July. So, you know, we got August, September, October, November. So yeah, about 4 to 5-ish months in between sets. I think the next one comes out in March. Woolbrook. And the next one is going to be a different one. Because now, so with the current sets, there's been like 4 worlds they've been to, really, if you want to put it that way, thematically. And the storyline was about Merlin going through all these worlds, yada yada yada. And now they're going to wrap up this storyline. So then the next set that's going to come out, they're calling it a capstone set, which from what we're understanding is going to have like a lot of reprints. A lot of the expensive cards are going to get reprints and stuff like that. So, you know, hopefully they can, like, I don't know, make some of the more in-demand stuff a little more available, push down the prices of those high-cost decks. Hopefully, we'll see what they're gonna do. But, you know, it's a cool idea, I think, to like wrap up the story with one set and then go on to whatever, something new, I guess. Honestly, I'd rather card games go the Japan route and release smaller sets monthly. Make it easier to pull shit. I mean, I guess it depends on how much it costs, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh is like fucking, they got booster boxes for like 30 to 40 euros right now because nothing's worth anything in those packs. I don't know. I feel like I like slower releases because it allows me to play with the cards that I've drawn from packs. It allows me to deck build, experiment a little bit. I like how Grand Archive is doing it. They're doing main set and then expansion set. So main set comes out, you can experiment, you can play around with things. Expansion set comes out, it adds a couple of new archetypes, but it also supports the previous one, so you can like improve your decks that you were already working with. I like that idea. I like that. Anyway, we got a compass, which is a ranger thing. Buff counters. That's +1/+1. That's good. That's good. I feel like a lot of card games are trying new weird release schedules. There's like this one game I read about recently. what's it called again? Sorcery, I believe, made by one of the guys who is like from Path of Exile, that studio. And they're doing like one set per year, which is like crazy to me. They're doing a full set per year, which that feels way too slow. But at the same time, they have like this whole gimmick of like every art piece made for the game is like made in the physical world, like painting or drawing or whatever. Like no digital art, which I mean, that's very cool. But it also means you're gonna take like a year to make a set. I don't know. I feel like when I look at those cards from Sorcery, I feel like the art is really good. I feel like the general, like the text and whatever not is like butt ugly. I don't know. A lot of new card games, for whatever reason, just... I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing with the cards themselves. Like the art is usually cool, but then like whatever else, it's just like really busy or really like this is fairly simple. I like that they've just kept it simple. Got deleted by ads. YouTube is back up. You can go back to YouTube. Anyway, let's continue. March on. Peer Beyond. Burning. Ooh, we got a little froggy man. Little frog man. Yo, does he have a frog guitar? Look at that. He has a frog guitar head. That is sick. Oh, I'm gonna wait until the ads are over so you guys can see the frog man if you're behind the ad wall. Love this. Okay, ads are done in a couple seconds now. We're back from the ads. Hello, welcome to Frogman with the little frog guitar. Look at him. Look at him. Beautiful. Beautiful. Also, the YouTube stream is up, so you know, just saying. Just saying. The YouTube stream is up, so Frogman. Anyway, I was saying a lot of modern card games, new ones that come out, the layout of the cards are horrible. But the art is cool. Can't find the YouTube stream? It's live. Just go to my channel and it should pop up as the first thing. It's saying live. I can click on it. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Frogman, let's go. Equivalent exchange. That's cool. Suffocating ash. And en passant. Chessman. Stacking on with en passant. There's like a buff comes to. Ooh, that's actually nice. Literally ain't no showing up for me. Maybe it's only there for Europeans. That is bizarre because it says I'm live. It does say 0 people are watching compared to before. So, you know, maybe there is an issue. Oh yeah, it's not showing up. That is weird. What the heck? Why is it not showing up? What the heck? Unlisted. Public. Done. Save. Why did it change itself to being unlisted? Maybe because I disconnected and it's like a safety feature. Ah, there we go. It's back up. Now you can see it. There we go. Next pack. I'm gonna keep going without break time. Fuck Twitch ass. Exactly. Obelith. Token. Golden Gam. Ooh, common. I don't think we've seen that one. Swarm Wind Head. We're getting in a lot of the same thingies now. Tyrannical Denigration. That's a crazy... Dude, just as I said, I don't think I'm gonna do a break. There's Leela being like, uptime, which I don't think works anymore. But also, that just means, hey, do break time, please. I guess I should do break time then. I mean, yeah, the cats. Oh, fuck. Boss lady says take a break. Yeah, because these days we have cats now. And like, part of their schedule now is like, play around with them. And about at 10 p.m.-ish, we don't go downstairs anymore and they go to sleep and whatever. So it's also like, hey, you want to get anything like a snack, drink, whatever, now is the time, which is usually break time. Let's finish off this booster and then do after the break, I guess. Yeah, cool. Tyrannical and Denigration. A Mord Call. Cool. Damn. Ultra rare. Deep in the box. That makes the stream more fun, huh? Molten Echo. 1 damage, target machine counter. Okay. 1 damage. You can play it from your graveyard. Okay. It's alright, that's alright. I guess it's break time then, boys. I guess it's break time then. So, boop. I'll be right back. Hoof. We're back. Mandatory break over. It still works. I guess it really was the USB ports, huh? USB 2 for the win. All right, let's see. How many do we have left? I feel like we're 2 hours in. I thought this was going to go way faster. I guess we had a lot of technical issues. Wait for a second. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 11 boosters of, I believe, 24. We're like halfway. That's, hold on. Yeah, 24. We're a little over halfway. That's crazy. I thought we were way further along. All right. How much is a box if there are only 24 packs? This one I paid 90 euros, I believe. Oh yeah, and you asked how many cards were in the set before. Let me double check that. Including all like the special edition rarity art things you can get, there's 256. However, I think if just the set, it says 183, which is probably a little bit more, so probably like 190, I guess. Do they show it on their website? I think they have like a product information thing. Product information. Wonderland. 199 unique cards in the set. All right. But this is an expansion set. Let's see for the main set how many it was. What the difference is. Because I do think the expansion sets have been getting bigger. Yeah, look here. The main set 222. That's crazy. It's not even that much less. That's crazy. That's actually too much for an expansion set. That's too much, dude. It's almost as much as a main set. That's crazy. They need to dial that down. But yeah, booster boxes for this game, depending on a deal or what you get, usually, you know, I usually think like 100 maximum. There are some exceptions of like things that are like out of print. Those can be like 110. I guess like the very first set, first edition, those are way more expensive. Because I don't think they've ever been in stores really, or like very early on. But that's like, there's no reason to get those. There's like reprint sets. Not reprint sets. You have like first edition, and then they, in this game, call it alter edition, which is like the normal print run, if you will. But I've bought a box for like 75 that was like on sale somewhere. So depending on, you know, it's definitely a game where if you really are looking at your money and you really want a strong deck, you should not be buying packs. It is gambling after all. Plead for peace. Throw priest. Night bark. Oh shit. We know for which community this is made. Hey yo. Wood? Wood? I think gross. Not wood. Friendship Gale, we've seen that one. Embrace noir. Embrace black. That's actually the first Umbra card I've drawn that is not a rare. That's funny. Facet together, facet together, face it together. Opponent's turn. Oh, it's like for the token deck. All right, good shit. And the myopic lens. Next time I glimpse is 2 instead. Oh, that's interesting. Because you could use that to increase your glimpse 1 to 2. But more likely, you would nerf someone else's glimpse. Glimpse is like scry magic. It says look at the top X cards of your library. So if someone does like glimpse 5, 6, whatever, you could be like, nah, it's 2 now, bitch. That's cool. Mirrored confrontation. God, I love the colors on this one. Love it. Golden Rook. Yeah. Getting a lot of the same ones now. I guess all the commons, we've seen a lot of those already. Uncommon, this one I haven't seen yet. Crystal Accretion. Cool. Enfeebling Orb. From the hands in their memory. I don't know about that. That's basically like tapping 2 mana in Magic. I mean, that is annoying. It costs you. It's a regalia though. I don't know about this one. Ooh, the ultra rare. The Jabberwocky. I like it. That's not a bad pull. It's like, I don't think it's like a financially strong pull, but it is a good creature. One that I'm definitely gonna use. Ooh. Good stuff. Damn, Jabberwocky. Box it is 85 on TCG Player. And it is the brand new set. I would honestly, this one is probably not one I would advise for your first box. I would definitely go for like one of the main sets. They have like way better staples, like for commons and stuff. This one is an expansion pack, so you know, you're gonna get a lot of stuff that's not that useful. Unless you already have, what's the most recent main set? It's called Distorted Reflections. Which I would say is a good one to buy if you're into the Alice in Wonderland type of characters and decks. Wavekeeper's Bond. Champion levels up, recover 2. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Ducal Seal. Is it like rotation or is every set legal? Every set is legal. I don't know if they've talked about rotation coming eventually. That might be a thing, but for now, I mean, this is set 8, I believe. There's been 8 sets, so it's way too soon for a rotation. But there might be one at some point. Can't declare attacks unless they pay 3. That's nice. And still shard. Strike. Merlin. What you can also do if you want to try out this game, there is a you have on Steam, you have the game Tabletop Simulator. and someone made like a Steam Workshop thing for this game, so you can just create a deck list on like one of the deck builder websites, import it in that game, and you can just play it. Problem with the art style of this game is look too similar to AI stuff. That's because AI stuff is trained on things like this. They are working with real artists. For sure. Ooh, this one, common. I don't think we've seen this one. Crystal Vein Awakening. Summon a memory omelet token with Sheen counter on it. Butte additional. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Fiction. Ooh, this one's pretty. Stardust Oracle. Stealth begin with someone. Ooh, actually not bad. I like it. First Astra card. I'm gonna put these to the side because I'm like sorting while I'm doing this. Oh shit! Unexpected. This is definitely one I want because I want to make a Chessman deck. So this one's a strong guy for that deck. I think unfortunately as time goes on, the AI art stuff is gonna look more and more like real art because, you know, they keep stealing more stuff to put into their training data. So unfortunately, you know, at some point we're gonna have a very hard time, if not an impossible time, to distinguish that on site. Depends on how popular this time is with the AI, bro. I think it is just to me this is like a generic anime style in a lot of cases. You know, which I mean is fine, but it's definitely like definitely a common type for the AI stuff for sure. But you know, I mean, I feel like this game is like themed, like this is an Alice in Wonderland theme, for example. So there's like a lot of stuff. I don't think AI would be that simple. Like there's like the clock in the background. Like this is clearly made with intent, you know? Like there's like the floor, like this is clearly made with a specific intent. So this would not be AI for sure. Peroxide, the normal one. There we go, here. Misty or Whispertail. And another chessman, Roland Schwartz Knight. Horseman. Cool. Cool. It's the Sakimi-chan style. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was really popular for a while, huh? Off with a head. Golden Knight. That's not a pawn, not a rook. It's a knight. Yo. Wood. Siege Mauler. Croaking. Yeah. The frog guitar man. Love his little guitar headstock. Love that. Awakening with Incapacity. Yeah. Great reprint. This is like a staple in so many decks. Staple card. Betraying Blade. And a Burb. Sign Crowing. 12 counter animal control without a makes other animals stronger. I guess I need to figure out a way to not make my camera shake whenever I touch my desk. Because like the arm of the camera that's overhead is like attached to the desk. I guess it's like boing. Bird. a lot of the same stuff now. One of those mic stabilizers. Ooh, actually foil. Beautiful. For common, that's unfortunate, but whatever. We take those. We take those. The golden bishop. Ooh. Burnt obelisk. Remnant of will. Put 2 haunt counters on your phantasmagoria. Those are words for sure. Those definitely are words. Oh shit. Queen has been located. The queen has been found. Wood. wood. Awooga, awooga. Golden Gambit. Assailant. Gilded Pyre. Nurse. Ooh, this one's new. The Alizarin Longbowman, and it's a woman. Nice. Each player draw a card. Each player, though. Twisted Verdict. Top 5 wood. Weighted Accord. I don't know this one. Okay. A little bit of a hate for your opponent. Oh, last 3 packs. Oh. I just, you know, let the stars align. I just want one of those signed cards. I've never had one. Those are very rare, but I just, you know, why can I not have like one? You know? Nightbarker. Here he is again. Veiling Breeze. Cinder. Queen Cinderhog. Would not. Personally. Would not. Unmake Duality. Gotta hug for... Dude, what? Going a little too deep into degeneracy, I think. Illusory Arms Master. Warrior. Target warrior weapon against spells round 2 the ability counter. Actually not bad. I like it. I like the art too. Like it. Some fast speed is an instant. Yep. You have slow. Guess what? That's sorcery. That's for actions. And actions can be skills or spells. I mean, I guess they can be other things too, but mostly skills and spells. Which matters sometimes. There's things like Spell Shroud. Cannot be targeted by spells, but still by skills. And stuff like that. So, you know. Trying to figure out what the weird vocab actually means. It's so easy though, look. This is the cost of a card. This is the element. The type of card, action, and then like, you know, for things that matter, ooh, cleric spells cost less to play, for example. That's relevant for this. I mean, I guess there's a lot of keywords like influence. That's basically your hand size, kinda. Not really. Because you have hand and memory. Because in this game, instead of mana, you just put down cards from your hand. You put them face down on the board. I paid 2, now I play this. And then at the beginning of your next turn, your memory goes back to your hand. So that's like kind of the mana system of this game. So to play this one, you need to put down 2 other cards from your hand. But then at the beginning of your next turn, they come back to your hand. But there's like also stuff that costs the blue stuff, and that means you need to banish stuff from your memory at random and whatever. Like there's a whole mechanic around it. It's pretty neat. There were a lot of cards that say you need to get to put things in places, and the places mentioned were some esoteric terminology. Yeah, that happens. Bonus means only if Alice does this, she gets this, and then it becomes fast. See, easy. Activate means play or cast. If you cast this card, to cast it, sacrifice an ally. Ally being creatures. Draw 2 cards. That's easy, right? Unit is allies and champions. Champions being like your hero you play with, you know. Buff counter is a +1/+1 counter. A lot of stuff, even though it has different names, very similar to Magic the Gathering. Recover is healing. Haunt counter is just... that's like a specific mechanic for the Spectre stuff. Ephemerate is... I would say it's kind of like Flashback. Yeah, you cast it from your graveyard and then it exiles. Easy enough. Yeah, who's this? Brookside Scout, Frog Girl, but it's not a frog, it's a human. Deluge Tree, I don't even know what that is. You have 3 or more on the card, you may load. Is that the deluge part? The 3 or more water elements in your graveyard? Might be. And Fracturing Slash. It's not the last one, actually. Thought it was. The Tri-Castles of Lucinia. It's a domain. Ooh. Players can't activate non-advanced element cards. Wait, what? Yo, that's crazy. Oh shit. Was Deluge like a kicker call? I actually don't know on the top of my head what Deluge is. That's like an old thing that came back, I think. Let me Google it. Dude, now I'm curious. Game turns. Deluge N represents a static ability surrounding the condition of having X or more water cards in your graveyard. Okay, so that it just looks at that many water cards in your graveyard. Deluge Tree means you need 3 water cards in your graveyard. Anyway, beautiful art, love it. Castle. Final pack. If this has a super mega rare or one of those stained glass ones, that would be a sick ender. But it's probably not going to be anything special because that's how it usually goes. Never hope for the good stuff. See, we get a Nightbarker. Who cares? Yo, Chamberlain Toad. Look at this guy, dude. Hey, yo. Bishop's Cross. If the killed unit had an odd life stat, draw a card. Okay. And then this is the rare. All right. Abnegation. Recover X. Okay. That was it. I don't think I have like giant, huge pulls. That's usually how that goes, though. I mean, this one's obviously a good pull because it's the ultra rare. I don't know if this one's worth anything. But I think that's a good pull. This one I'm pretty sure is going to be worth something. This one probably. The foiling on this token is so fucking sick, dude. It's hard to explain. But in real life, it's like a crystal printed on the card. It's really cool. When we have Alice though, that's cool. The foil token was your hit. I actually don't know if it's worth anything. Imagine if that's worth something. Is this it? For Curio foil? Is that what it is? I don't know if Curio foil is what it is. Dude, imagine if that is it. It is a different kind of foiling though, for sure. Dude, imagine if a fucking foil token is like the big hit of my pack. That would be so funny. Okay, hold on. Now I need to Google what a fucking Curio foil is. Oh, because like I mean, it is beautiful. Let me put it that way. It's a beautiful card in real life, but. Producing Curio foils, a new fractured foil pattern for non-champion, common and uncommon cards, with a population of only 100 per card. Rarely found in booster packs. Okay, but and I guess that's what it's actually. It's to the point where it's hard to tell if this is just like normal good foiling. It definitely looks different, so I'm gonna assume it is. I guess the rest of the card is kind of foiled as well, because the text is also foil and the... It has to be, dude. This... Ain't no way. It's like I... So the big hit of my box is a token. You can't make that shit up, dude. I think this is it. I think it's a Curio foil because it has the, you know, they showed a picture, but it's not really clear on. It doesn't really show much on pictures, but they say it's like a crystal, fractured crystal pattern. I don't know if this is gonna be, if you can see this on camera, right? So this is a normal foil compared to this one. I guess you can see it a little bit. You see the crystal pattern on the bird, right? Which this one does not have. So yeah, this has to be the Curio foil. So yeah, but see, this is something, by the way. This is like a price. I mean, that's cool. But those are listings. They're not being sold at that price, right? Can we see like the sell history on TCG Player? I don't use TCG Player. I only use it for this game because it's not on Card Market, which is like the European. How long ago did this set come out? Like 2 weeks ago. The 5th of December, 2 weeks ago, it came out. I think this is gonna drop in price. Or I don't even think, I'm sure nobody's gonna buy it at this price. Then again, there's only 100 of these, right? Hold on. Wait, what's it called? Memory. Memo, right? Shardwing. Yeah, I guess there's only 100 of these. That is, I do like, by the way, that they have the population of each card. So you can see how many there are out there, how rare it technically is. So there's only 100 of these in the world, huh? That's cool. It's, you know what? It's, I'm not gonna sell this. It's a beautiful fucking card, and it's a deck I just, it's the deck I just bought where it's gonna work in. So obviously I'm gonna use it. Beautiful card. Looks great. What else do we got? What else did we get? I mean, I guess a lot of these curio foils. I don't have any other. God, this one's already one. You're gonna fucking use it? Dude, it's beautiful. Why wouldn't I use it? Who's gonna buy it, dude? There's literally nobody around me that's playing this game. Like, other than my brother and my sister, they play the game now. So we play kitchen table. But no game store yet has picked up this game. So I don't really have anyone to pawn it off to. I guess I can sell it online if someone wants it. But man, it's gorgeous. At least double sleeve that shit. I mean, yeah. All curio foil. Can I disable curio foil? And I guess it's just a different entry, so I don't think. No. Printing. Nah. They just made it a different entry. Because otherwise it would be at the page of the card, right? Jabberwocky, that one I got. That's not bad. It's not, I mean, the problem is, like, this is a lot of money for one card. Like, realistically, I know people's brains have been broken by the general pricing of TCGs at this point. But these prices, like, for a piece of cardboard, it's kind of insane if you think about it. But this is also one of those creatures. If you're gonna run this, chances are you're gonna run a couple at least. Like, imagine buying a playset for this. That's crazy, dude. That's a lot of money. Topsy Decree, Phantom Monarch. Hey, the one else we got is also 18. Damn. Market price 4. So what's that all about? Yeah, what the fuck? Why does it say... Dude, TCG player, I don't understand you. Why does it say one listing from... Is it still because it's on Belgium here? Yeah, oh, it's the old... Hold on, I need to refresh. Yeah, okay, this is a much better... Hold on. Is my token still worth anything if we're not shipping to Belgium? It is. Oh my god, what the fuck? A fucking token, dude. What the hell? That is not okay. Damn, he went down too. Yeah, I guess nothing else is really super expensive right now. Like, no hidden. I guess, you know what it is? It's still early for this set. So there's cards here that now are going to be like a buck or two that at some point at like a major tournament, someone's going to win with like a 4 of like this one, for example, in their deck. Just throwing it out there, right? And then the price is going to shoot up in the air. But that can happen to any card. You can't really speculate or gamble on that. I guess if you're really into the deck building of the game, you might be able to spot something like, huh, that's like way better than I expected. Maybe I should buy it. 2 weeks usually where the point where prices become real. It really depends though. Like, a game like this is still fairly small. I feel like you often see, like, the set is out for 2 weeks. And a lot of like the tournament players are still just trying to find cards, you know? Like, not everyone is buying heaps of boxes, but there's also just not that much supply yet because, you know, only so many boxes have been opened and singles are on the market. So that does skew prices a little bit, especially because, you know, a lot of these, I mean, this is a good time probably to buy like some of these, like the super rares that might become more expensive in the future, but now are probably cheap because stuff is being opened to try and find like the big ones. You know, not thinking of like the special editions, but things like this, Vorpal Sword, like normal cards that are just rare. You know? Or like looking for Jabberwockies, Merlins, whatever, Labyrinth. Like those, the ones you need, you know, the ultra rares. I think this is an ultra rare. Yeah, ultra rares like this, but you can put 4 of them in a deck. But there's only 1 ultra rare per box, per booster box, right? So those get expensive real fast. Real fast. And if people in stores are opening boxes to get these, and like the other still kind of like super rares can drop in price, but they might go up once people start needing them for decks. At the same time, you know, I am very much the type of person who's like, again, unless you have like either a local scene that's like playing on high level, or you're like actively traveling to tournaments and stuff, if you're just playing casually, I don't really feel like you need to be optimizing every deck every time, you know. It's just unnecessary, in my opinion. As long as everyone else in your group is also not doing that, then you can have perfectly fine games. I really like the game though. Like actually playing this game, I'm a big fan of it. It has its faults, as every game does, you know. But right now, it's like scratching that itch that Magic used to have. I mean, Magic is still fun, but Magic product is not fun anymore. Let's put it that way. Magic the game, I'm still having a great time with Magic the game. I am not a fan of the product and the stuff they're releasing. It's just oof. And it's unavoidable too, even if you don't join in. Like again, Wednesday I went to play Commander at the local store, and you're playing it. It's like, I'm playing this Commander, all right, and then like before you know it, it's like, okay, I'm playing fucking Kefka, Final Fantasy, and like before you know it, you're just playing Fortnite. And like on a technical level, the game is still fun, but it doesn't have that feel of Magic anymore, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But Avatar is actually a fun set. I think Avatar, this happened before, the Final Fantasy set. Like, it's on paper, it's like a great set. It's a fun set to play as. But I do feel like, especially the way they've been pushing all these crossovers, it's like poisoning the card pool real fast. Like the 2026, they're releasing more crossovers than normal Magic sets. There's only going to be 3 normal Magic sets. Everything else is crossover next year. Okay, that's just, isn't that like insane? To me, that feels insane. And the worst part about it is, they clearly don't give a shit about those couple Magic sets, because the next one, Lorwyn Eclipsed, is about to come out in like a month from now. And they're not even talking about it. They're already talking about fucking the Marvel Avengers set that's coming out in like July or whatever the fuck. Yeah, Magic is dead as an IP. Since ain't looking at stacks of rares these days. This card don't even look like they're from Magic. Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. And you know, I have my other complaints with Magic in general, but I mean, I still enjoy playing the game. You know, my play group is not like chasing the newest hotness constantly, so most of our decks are still like fairly normal, I would say. And I'm never gonna not play it because someone's playing Final Fantasy stuff. I'm not immune. I have a deck, a commander, Tomb Raider, right? I mean, it is what it is. I'm not immune to that stuff, But to me, there's a difference between, hey, it's summertime, welcome to the completely optional summer crossover set that is not in standard, compared to, there's gonna be like 6 crossovers this year, all in standard. So if you're watching a tournament, you will be watching Spider-Man picking up a Final Fantasy Black Mage job, and then shooting Avatar in the face. You know, like that's just the sets that came out last year. So you know, I mean this year, those crossovers are all from this year. Though that's what Magic is right now. It's I'm not a big fan of it. So this game is scratching an itch that Magic is leaving behind, especially when it comes to like buying products. It's very hard for me to get excited about buying new Magic things, even though I still enjoy playing the game. I'm not enjoying, you know, opening boosters or anything like that anymore. And I am enjoying that for this game. This game has like, I don't know, the teams so far have been exciting, have been fun, especially now recently the Alice in Wonderland stuff I really love. I don't know where they're going next. So far we don't really know anything, other than there's going to be like a story recap set in March, and then the introduction of collector boosters vs play boosters. Those make boxes way worse to open. Yeah, just the idea of play boosters already, because that's already an amalgamation of like the old draft booster and set booster, which, you know, I don't know. Magic is just, yeah, again, my where I'm sitting with Magic is exactly as I just said. I still love playing it. It's still a very fun game. My cards are not going anywhere, which is, you know, that's the good thing about TCGs. If you don't sell them, like, you know, it works. You know, it's not obsolete. I mean, I guess it's obsolete in the sense that, you know, if you want to be current, but I can always, you know, if I stop playing Magic today, in 5 years from now, I can still play those decks, you know. Will I win? Probably not, but it is what it is. Or even if I just, you know, me play with Leela and just use the decks I have and not buy anything new. That'll always work. So, you know. And the product, I don't know. It's just hard to get excited over a new set. Prices keep going up at insane rates. Like a booster now is like $7 minimum. I don't think I've ever opened a single collector booster. I've never done that. Which is kind of wild. They've been doing that for a long time now. They've been including that in all kinds of products. I've never opened a single one. Ever. They're like 20 a pop. It's insane. That's cute. It's cute you think they're 20 a pop. I think since Avatar, they've raised the prices. I think they're 45 or 50 a pop these days. So, you know, just saying. And like not like MSRP. I think MSRP for Avatar, they were like $47 for one booster. Like, dude, I feel like there are points where you start comparing, like when you buy a single booster pack and it's like $5 or whatever, right? That's something cute you can do in between. You can pick up like a couple of boosters in local game store, pay like $15 and you're out of there. Beautiful, right? And in the end, you've spent a lot if you tally it all up, right? But it's like, it feels manageable. But once it's like, well, the one thing is like $50, at that point you're like, well, there's a lot of video games that cost $50 or less. And think about the gameplay you're getting out of those. Or like You're getting in the range of, you can buy board games for 50 bucks, right? Instead of one booster. And the only reason they cost that much is because they know there's an aftermarket. It's just gambling. It literally is just gambling. I also feel the same way about just the commander decks they're selling. They've become so expensive so fast. Like the normal price, MSRP, without any, is like 55 or 60, I think. I think 55 for a single deck, which is like, that's out of control. It's like, that's a start. That's a place where you start, and it's like almost the price of a video game. I feel like starter decks, you know, like for Grand Archive, they should be like 10, 15, and like advanced decks, if you will, you know, without anything extra, it really should not be above like 30, 20, maybe even 25. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird out there. And I think, you know what? I also think it is telling that in the last couple of years, there's been so many new games popping up. And there are quite a few of them that are sticking around, you know? I remember... God, I'm really old now, huh? I'm old. I remember back in the day when the World of Warcraft card game came around. That era. What's that gonna be like? When did that start? 2000 something? Whatever, right? I actually... TCG. ...2005. Released 2006. Okay. 2006, that came out. That was a time period, because I remember it when that came out. At that point in time, there really was only Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon. Those were basically the only games possible, you know? And every other small game in that time frame came out and died so fast. And I remember the World of Warcraft card game being such an exception to that rule, because it's like the one game that stuck around in the era, to then eventually being cancelled, not because it was bad or not selling, but because Hearthstone existed. So, you know, they were like, nah, we don't want, even though the card game was completely different, it's like, nah, we don't want to confuse players, we'll just delete it. Which is crazy to think about, but whatever. Other than that, you know, every other card game that was around was so small, so niche, either died or, you know, like, what's that one game with the Android and Corpo that became a living card game, you know, where you just buy an entire set? Netrunner, I think that used to be a TCG, I believe, and then changed to living card game. There were like a couple others, but most games just disappeared really fast back then. And yeah, the WoW card game really stuck to me back then, because it's like, oh, what an exception to the rule, one that stuck around. But now there's like a new card game launching every year that seems to stick around. Like in the last couple of years, we've had Flesh and Blood that's sticking around, Lorcana that's sticking around. There's that new Star Wars game that's doing pretty well, from what I understand. There's also ones that are dying, you know, like there's like this game Altered, which came out with like a big swing, and now they're already like in trouble. There's a couple of others like that. The Final Fantasy card game still going on, which is crazy. And now you have newcomers like Grand Archive. There's a couple other that are like sticking around. But hey, it's you know, either the market has gone way bigger, or my theory is there's just a lot of people like me who look at Magic and are like, well, I've been playing this for so long and it's just not exciting anymore to buy new shit. You know, Commander is the main way of playing anyway. So when I look at making a Commander deck, like 99% of the cards that I would need, either I have somewhere in my collection or is like a rare or mythic. I'm gonna have to buy single anyway from all over sets of all over the history. So what's the point in cracking packs at this point as like a normal player? It really, you know, unless you draft, it really doesn't matter. Or unless you're Gamba and go collector boosters, but that's Gamba, so you know. Whereas when I open a box for this game, there's gonna be plenty of the normal cards I just got that I'm effectively gonna use in decks, because that's just that's how early this game still is, you know. Every new set increases the card pool by quite a lot, like percentage wise. And I feel like with this game, I feel like I got on a good time, because I started buying this last year, and at that point the game was like running for 2 years and hitting its stride. So, you know, I don't think this game is gonna stop anytime soon. Like, at least financially, they have no reason to stop as a company. Like, they're growing to the point where I think the player base is growing too fast compared to what they can actually keep up with printing. So they're gonna have to figure something out. But yeah, I think there's a future for this game. But then again, it's a wild market out there. There's so many games popping up. Now there's the League of Legends game. There's like so much going on, and there's only so much cash you can spend on these games, you know. There's not that many people who play multiple TCGs, you know. At best, that's what I see from most people, is like they have their main game, which is going to be either Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Flesh and Blood these days. That has a lot of players as well. And then they have like a side game, which is something, and usually a game with like a slower release pace, you know, be it Sorcery, Grand Archive, something like that. That's what we're seeing a lot. But more than that, who's playing 3 or 4 TCGs? Not Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. One Piece, Detroit. Oh yeah, One Piece. That's another one that came up, and like, that's really big, very suddenly, huh? That's right, One Piece. I forgot about that. It's so recent too. Like, I'd never heard about it until, gosh, I think this year was the first time I've ever heard of it. I think when that's right, I went to the pre-release for the Final Fantasy Magic set. I went to the pre-release for that, and at the same day, they were doing like a One Piece event. And I was like, what is this game? What the hell is this? People are playing this? It was like super busy as well. That was crazy. Yeah, that one's going strong as well. Yeah, it's a weird time. Like, currently, saying currently which game is like definitively gonna stick around is hard to say. I mean, you never know, right? Like, there's not many games that are gonna be a Magic or a whatever. Like, even Flesh and Blood, as big as it is, if like they can stop tomorrow. Like, look at the World of Warcraft card game. That, I just saw it on the wiki. It went from 2006 until 2013, which, you know, that's a long time for a new card game. And that's like, what, 7 years? Yeah. And the only reason they stopped was because Hearthstone. Is Flesh and Blood even going on for 7 years at this point? I don't even know. It's probably around that time. You never know if it's just gonna stop. But I hate Riftbound. I'm curious to see which game it'll kill off. I have a feeling it'll be Flesh and Blood. I'm not sure. Flesh and Blood is pretty strong. Like, a lot of hyper competitive players love Flesh and Blood. But they're very much in that, you know. I think that's where they scored a lot of people who were seeing Magic's, you know, focusing less and less on tournaments and stuff. They're like, well, Flesh and Blood is like mainlining the tournament shit, so let's go. It's hard to say. I'm partial to this game. I really like it. To me, this game just merges a Magic-ish playstyle with anime teams and pretty cool ones. I feel like, you know, like Alice in Wonderland and stuff I really like. But it's like different enough from Magic where it doesn't feel like I'm just playing Magic with different art. And you know what's gonna be a big test for this game, or I mean, I guess like a milestone. Right now this game is focused on 1v1 and they're doing a lot of tournaments and stuff, which is great, you know, fantastic. But they have announced that with the next main set coming in March, they are gonna do a new format called Pantheon, which is, they're calling it a casual format. I'm assuming they mean 4-player, you know, basically we want to have our version of Commander, or, you know, something like that. I'm assuming, and I'm curious to see what that's gonna look like. And that might change the player base, because right now the player base is very focused on tournaments and stuff. So we'll see how that, if that changed anything around at all. Who knows? Problem is competitive players love money, and Riot is throwing money at rebound prices. I've heard a lot of bad things too though. Like they're having to errata a lot of cards already and stuff. Gross, I wish card games would stop doing multiplayer. Well, the League of Legends game also has a multiplayer thing already. And Grand Archive from the start had multiplayer rules, technically. Like I already play a multiplayer. It's kind of funny that you're like, multiplayer is gross. I basically only play card games multiplayer. Like I've never, I mean, at very early on when I started playing Magic, I did one-on-one because I just only had one person that played it. But once we had a bigger group, we always play multiplayer. 3 or 4 player minimum. Which the craziest part is, I've been playing Magic multiplayer with normal decks for the longest time. And when Commander came around, like a lot of times my current playgroup, which is still the same one, we're playing less and less, which is also a reason why I'm moving to other card games a little bit. But when my original playgroup gets together, like chances are we're not playing Commander, we're just playing 60 card decks that are like built for multiplayer, which we just have lying around because those are the cards we've been playing forever. We start off as a multiplayer game. Vampire: The Eternal Struggle was designed to be 4+ players and it's amazing for it. Yeah, I mean, I see the argument. I definitely see the argument. I think, you know, if you're clever about it with formats, you can do it, but I think what does make your point is one of the things I dislike about Magic the Gathering currently is the way a lot of cards are clearly designed to fit into Commander. You know, like it's so obvious if you look at current Magic versus like sets from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Just the amount of stuff that's on one card is grown exponentially. And that makes sense because if you're playing Commander, a singleton format, you want every card you draw to have as much impact as possible, right? Drawing a card that says your goblins get 1+1/+1. Not as exciting as they get +1/+1. And also you draw a card when you play a goblin. And also they explode when they hit someone's face. Like But that's current card design. Every card needs to do like 4 or 5 things at the same time, and it gets a little old. I kind of miss, again, old man talking, I kind of miss when I had to build a deck, I had a card that did one thing and then a different card that paid off doing that original thing. But Magic has a lot of cards now that like they do a thing, but they also have their own payoff for doing that specific thing, which again is designed for singleton formats, because you know you can't guarantee a different effect if you don't have multiple copies. So it's I kind of dislike Commander. I think it's kind of a bad format in so many ways, but it is the most popular one, so you know you gotta play it if you want to play at your local store. One of the reasons Vampire is amazing, 90 card decks, no limit to amount of copies you can play. I'm gonna stop you already right there. 90 cards, too much. Dude, one of my pet peeves when playing Commander in Magic, 100 card decks. Dude, I've yet to sit at a table after all this time. I've yet to sit at a table and see someone shuffle their deck and not think to myself, man, you look like a toddler playing around with something. I've never seen anyone competently shuffle a 100 card deck. It always looks like fumbling and bullshit, and because it is. It's too many cards to comfortably shuffle. That's just what it is. I think 60 card decks is like a fucking sweet spot. I love it. In Vampire, you burn through them because you can use the same card repeatedly. There's basically no shuffling or looking through the deck for anything. But you do need to shuffle it initially then, right? Then you play a card, you draw new ones. You basically have to play cards to get other cards. But you can play like one per turn, like no mana system. But turn limited or something. I don't know. I've never played it. I've seen people play it though. I've kind of been thinking about that sorcery game, not to like fully commit to it, but I do know they sell like a pack of like 4 different starter decks. It's like one box, 4 different starter decks for like 30 euros. I feel like if you just play with those, kind of like a board game, it might be cool. There's no mana, it's all blood cost. Cards are free so you can keep using them repeatedly. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Every game has its own fun, you know. The question is, you know, is the combination of all the mechanics a thing? I do love card games. Let's put it that way. Like I would probably enjoy Vampire. I'd probably enjoy things like Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Though Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like a really weird game at the moment. But like, you know, Pokemon, probably Riftbound. If someone asked me to play Riftbound, I'll probably play, you know. Will I invest and get the best decks and whatever? Probably not, but I'll play any card game if someone wants to play and gives me a deck. I'm down. I will say though, Grand Archive is a game that I kind of really like, so I'm kind of like inclined to, you know, evangelize it to people because it's a small game. You kind of want it to grow. I do wish I had people to like, because right now I'm playing only physical. There's like only a couple of people that I know that play it. Kind of wish I had more like an online group of people who would like play it on Tabletop Simulator or some stuff. At least at the moment. I do know the people behind Grand Archive, They are working on their own software. Not like a Magic Arena, but just like a more, you know, more simple, like a, they're calling it like a testing sandbox thing. But it is supposed to have like, you know, you can connect to another player, have a match against each other. You're just gonna have to manually tap and stuff like that. It's not gonna be like all automatic. They are working on a tool like that, and I believe it's gonna come out next year somewhere. They have not announced when. So that could be a really easy way to onboard people or just play this game without actually having to buy a single card. Yeah. Can you play the vampire game in Tabletop Sim? See, this is how you do it. Can you play it in Tabletop Sim? You probably can. It's old enough. Someone will have made it. They used to have a totally free bootleg when they play it. It was very early 2000s. Damn. Damn. Dude, how the fuck is a token the most expensive thing? It's crazy. Fucking token. Token. Oh. I'm getting tired. Card games are wild. It is a wild, wild, wild west out there. Because, like, literally, like a little inside thing. Like, recently, there was a new game store, like a local game store that opened up, like, really close to my home. Like, it's like a 15-minute drive. So, I'm very happy. New game store right next door, basically, right? Because, like, without that game store, the closest one would be like at least a 30-minute drive, if not more, depending on traffic. And like a drive as in you get to like a parking space and then it's still like a 10-minute walk to the store. So it's like, you know, good for a once in a while event, like a pre-release, but to have like your, you know, just hop in and do stuff. I'm very glad there's a new store close by where you can actually just go there, hang out a little bit if you want to. And I'm definitely seeing, because the store is like, you know, they have Magic, Pokemon, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of One Piece, right? But mostly Magic, it seems to be like right now, in Pokemon. Setting up events and stuff. And like you're seeing the formation of like the beginnings of communities, like, you know, trying to make a Pokemon League happen, trying to make Magic things happen. And already on their Discord, there's people like, hey, you know, I really love sorcery, maybe you should buy. Like, I'm kind of surprised how forward some people are, who are just like straight up to the store owner's face. You should actually heavily invest in sorcery. You should put your shelves full of sorcery because I like the game and you should really do that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, would it be cool if I could go to my local game store and buy Grand Archive? Sure. I'm not gonna go over to them and be like, hey, you need to stock this game that currently only I play that you know of. Like, that is a crazy sell. If anything, what you should do is get a couple of people who learn to play the game or whatever and just hang out in the store, start playing the game. And when there's enough people in your little community playing the game, the store owner can be like, or you can go to the store owner, it's like, hey, we got like 8 people here playing regularly. We will for sure buy shit if you have it on shelves. I feel like that's the way to do it. I feel like having the store invest before there's even a single person in the store playing, that's a recipe for disaster. Unless, I mean, unless it's like something like Riftbound where you know you're probably going to be able to sell it online if nobody locally plays it. But yeah, that is currently my plan though. I want to get like a little Grand Archive community going in my local game store. See if I can convince some people to play it. And then eventually get enough people so they can buy product, so we can run tournaments. Kind of want to do that. Sounds fun. But I'm not betting on it. It's a small game. And I'm not necessarily living in a big city either, so you know. If I manage to pull it off, it'll be a fucking Christmas miracle. Anyway, let me wrap up here. I can't believe the stream's already over. I guess the tech issues didn't help. I wonder what's wrong. I hope my USB ports aren't dead. Because it seemingly seems like my USB 3 ports are just not working. Or not properly working. Which is weird. Maybe I just connected too much at the same time. Who knows? Gotta go too. Thanks for the stream. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Yeah. That was it for this week. Next week, what do we have planned? It is the week of Christmas, but do I have any Christmas gatherings? I think most of them have been like, are gonna be later. So next week, I think I should be pretty fine to stream whatever. And we don't have a new game yet, so I'll probably finish up, if you can believe it. At some point, I was streaming Tomb Raider 3, and that is still not done. So I think I'm just gonna finish that game on stream. But we were really close to the end, so that'll be 1 to 2 streams maximum. I don't know what else next. We'll see, but we'll have a good time either way. So yeah, boys and girls, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend, because it is Friday. Yeah, see each other on Monday. Bye-bye.